Hey, what's up everyone? It's Adrian from Adrian's Awesome Accumulation. Today we're going to be taking a look at this model kit right here. This is the Megalomaria Penetrator from Kotobukiya. So let's take a look at the box art. As you can see right here, this is the model. She looks kind of different right here because it comes with a different head, but yeah, that's the model. That's cool artwork. As you can tell, it's very militaristic and, kind of simple looking, but it's really cool. All right, let's take a look at the product shots from the box here. All right, so here you can see some product shots, some poses you can get right here. And this is all the stuff that she comes with. And then you got some wrist. It's pointing out the wrist right there. I'll tell you all about it when I get to there. Here's the bottom of the box. Cool close up. And then on this side, like highly posable. She can get into some cool poses, because it's more robotic, less human, so they can get away with that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then this is the front of the box. All right, and the back. Oh, in the back, here we go. Here we have some other model kits that Kotobukiya makes, and they're kind of compatible. You can like put their weapons with each other and stuff, and switch faces. So that's pretty cool. Here we have some more poses that we can get the model kit in. Pretty neat. Let me show you the top half. These are kind of like the face plates she comes with, and you can, if you have a human face from one of their other lines, you could swap that in with this model kit. So that's pretty cool, as you can see there. Pretty neat. All right, let's get into the model kit herself. So here she is, the Megalomaria Penetrator. And like I said, it's very green. It has some kind of like gray parts right here. Very militaristic, kind of simple looking, but it looks pretty cool. So yeah, I like this model kit a lot, and it's very, very posable. Uh, as you can see, look at the legs right here. Look at that. Look at that. It's like right up against her body. Look at that. And then she can kind of like, look at that. Super posable. And just to like show you, look at that right here. Full like kind of squatting down. You can bend the feet all the way back, and then her body does tend to pop off. That's one of the annoying things about this model kit, but other than that, look at the posability here. Look at that. Oh shit. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, not other model kits can do that, so that's pretty neat. All right, so let's get her standing again, and then I'll show you the accessories she comes with. Be back in a few. All right, you guys, here's all the accessories she comes with. Let's start with the hands. All right, so she's got two closed fists right there, and I really like the way these hands look. They're like brown colored, and they're kind of like detailed. If you guys can see, look at that, like her knuckles right there and her fingers. So we got two closed fists. Then we got two thumbs up hands right here, which is pretty cool. You can get her in some kind of like, expressive poses with these. And then we got two like open hands, or like, yeah, where she's kind of like clawing, or like, like spreading her fingers open, looking, yeah, it looks like kind of like clawing somebody out. But like, I like these hands. They look pretty cool, you know. See, look at the detail on these. That's pretty nice, I gotta say. I do like the way these like hands look. They kind of look like robot gloves. Pretty cool. All right, got two of those. Then we got two pointing hands right here. Have her point at something. You know, very neat. And then we got two trigger finger hands right here for the guns and stuff like that. And then the ones I have on her, let me see, don't fall. We got like some kind of like normal grabbing hands for like, you know, different kind of weapons like swords or, you know, like anything else that she needs to grab, which also kind of looks like, if you guys can see, let me see, it also kind of looks like a trigger finger hand too. So like, I guess it can double as both, so in case you lose one of the others, but the other ones look more like trigger fingers. So we got that. And then we have, you know, different face plates right here. So this is a different front piece, like for her hair. And this purple piece, this purple clear piece right here, kind of, it's like the visor. It comes off, but I have it attached, and this is the only hair piece it can attach to, so I just have it there. But it is separate. You just attach it, and it kind of stays on, so that's pretty cool. And then we have different face plates right here. We have a green one. You know, this one came with, you know, different like eyes and stuff, but they fell when I was making it, so I lost the eyes. So this one's kind of like useless now. But like I guess I can have her in and just like you could see through her head or something like that. But yeah, too bad for that. But here we have like this gray one, and this is like my favorite. This one's pretty cool. Again, the purple piece on the back is just like a separate piece that you kind of like just snap into the back of the faceplate right here, and that'll be her eyes. So that's pretty neat. And then if you like switch it, you can see the light kind of like shines off her eyes, and that's pretty cool when you have that like attached to her face. So let's get this on and see how it looks. So let's take off her head. So you take off this little like front piece right here. Well, actually, you take off her hair. All right, and then this also comes off if it wants to come off. It's kind of like tightly fit in there. There we go. So we take these off, and then this antenna also comes off. So as you can see, it's put into like that little green piece right there. So you just take that off like so, and it's a separate piece, and then take off her faceplate. Bam. Put this cool like whitish, silverish, gray one on. There we go. And then put on her like front like silverish hair. Bam. And then you got the visor on also, which that looks kind of cool, right? Yeah, that looks definitely better in my opinion. And then we can put this front piece back on. And this, you can kind of do it like this, right? Just fix that up a little bit. Or you can actually put that antenna piece back on too and have her like that, which I haven't done, so let's do that right now. So again, this one you just kind of put, I'm not even showing you guys right there. Oh, wait, that's backwards. All right. Put it into like this little slot right here. And then put that on. And there we go. There she is with the little helmet piece and then the visor and then the little like antenna type stuff. So that's cool. Let's put it back on the body here and see how she looks. That looks cool. That looks really neat. It looks more like the front of the box. All right, so for weapons, we have a sword right here. And this is all green. I kind of like painted it silverish, the blade. So that's pretty cool. And the blade does come with like this little accessory right here. And this you can kind of like pop into like any open like hole part, like right here on the leg, on the shoulder, on the back right here, you know, anywhere that's open. And let's just put it on the back. Put it in right there, kind of like move it to the side, and then the sword just fits in like that. But it is kind of like loose in there. So, you know, just be aware of that whenever you're posing her. But that's pretty cool. There's the sword. And then for other weapons, she comes with this gun. And this is, it could double as like a Gatling gun right here. But it also comes apart and just make it like a normal like type of like war rifle. And to do that, you just take off the front piece, take off this piece, actually, and then take off this little piece from the actual like Gatling piece right here. And this little piece right here comes off. And then you get this piece here. You guys can see. And this little piece connects right here. Hold on, because it's kind of like molded, so you have to put it in right. All right, got that. And then you get this piece right here. Actually, let's put this into the gun first. Yeah, I think this, right? No. How does this go? This goes like this. Yeah, like this. All right, so got that in there. And then this piece up here, you see like this long piece right here. This goes towards the top. So we'll put that in. There we go. And then we take off this kind of like scope right here, and it comes with a different scope. We got this one. So we put that in. And bam, this is the more like, rifle type of gun. So pretty neat, pretty cool. And then we could just put that in her hands right here. Oh, well, I'm showing you that. Let me show you the wrist that they were like showing off on the box. So this wrist is pretty cool. It kind of bends like all the way, and then it has like another little like purplish weapon right here. That's pretty cool. And it's kind of like 3 type of pegs. Let me see. Let's take it off. So yeah, look at that. So you got one for the hand. This one goes into the arm, and then there's, you guys can see. Anyways, there's one that goes into this green piece right here. So, and then you just connect that. And sometimes it's kind of finicky, so just be aware. But like, I mean, it's pretty cool for like the extra like motion that you can get. Just put that back in, bend that back, and then you put the hand in. Actually, let's get let me put the gun in first. And then, yeah. Well, actually, let me get the other hand, then the other type of, there we go. The other trigger finger hand, and then just put that in. Now she's holding her gun. It's pretty cool. Let me see if I can get her standing again. There we go. All right, let's see what else. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, okay, some extra pieces. So, all right, so these are like different types of like wrists. So like if you don't want this like triple jointed wrist right here, just take this off, and you put this piece on, and you kind of line it up with this kind of like puzzle piece right here. Just put that in, and then you take, of course, the arm off, the hand off, I mean, and then put that in, and then you have like just a normal looking wrist without the triple joints and stuff. If that's like too finicky and it's bothering you, so you could like, comes with options, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's see what else she comes with 2 of those, of course. So here's the other one, and then you got an extra like little like hand piece right here for the hand connectors, and then we got this piece right here, which goes onto her back where I put the sword in. See, this one comes with a peg, and if you don't want that peg there, you just take that out and put this one back in, And then we got this little like sprocket looking piece. I have no idea where this goes. All right. Uh, we got this little gray piece, which for the, let me see, this is basically this little piece that goes into like the triple wrist right here, but it was on this side, but I took it off and you just put the little purple blade in. So you get an extra one of that if you don't want the purple blade there. And I don't know what this is actually supposed to be. It's like some kind of, maybe she shoots some bullets out of there. I don't know. But that, we got that. And then we got these little pieces right here, which is kind of like the gray back piece that I showed you. So these can like fit into like these side pieces right here. I kind of put these on because I thought there's going to be weapons that attach to her like leg right here, but there wasn't. So you could just like take these off and then put this one on right here, which closes the leg. Of course, you got to fit it in, right? There we go. See? And then you won't have that little like piece right here standing out. Let's actually do that for the other side of the leg here, because this one kind of looked like, watch, let me see. This one's kind of tightly fit in there. All right, so let's see. If you can see, like there's like this little thing, it kind of like, yeah, see, it kind of slides in. So I thought there was going to be like some weapons that you could put on her, but it's really like nothing slides in there. So let's just put these normal ones back in and cover that up. Again, if I can get it on. Oh, that one went in. Not good. I'll take that out later, but yeah. So that's pretty much all she comes with. And I'll be right back and I'll show you some poses and we'll close out the video. See you in a few. Pose 1. Last shot. Pose 2. Always at the ready. Pose 3. Graceful yet deadly. Pose 4. Waiting for orders. Pose 5. Military angel. Well, there it is. There's the review for the Megalomaria Penetrator done and complete. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you guys did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless, and bye.